What is going on, guys? So in today's video I'm going to be showing my Odd Eyes deck profile update. In Dual Overload we got some cool little cards I'm going to show you real quick. So we have obviously the manga version of Dark Rebellion Dragon, or is it just, yeah, Dark Rebellion like Sea Dragon or whatever it's called. Then we got let's probably do it as we go. Then we got the Starving Venom Lethally Dosed Dragon. And we already had the Clearing Fast Dragon. So we've completed the whole manga set of the cards that the character uses, Yuya. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. It hasn't really changed too much. There's been a few cards. There was a new set as well that came out recently, but I'll go through them when I go. So the first card we're going to be running is 3 Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum. If Odd Eyes card is destroyed, if an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed, you can special summon an Odd Eyes from the deck. Very good effect. It's a vanilla card other than that, but it's a rank 8 or scale 8 as well, so it's really, really good. Definite 3 of. Then we have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. So the way I kind of run this card is a little bit kind of the way you run this card is mainly for attack, and there's a lot of different things. Like, you can set this into scale, destroy it, search, and you can also special summon an Odd Eyes from the, just say you do first turn, let's say. You can do that, but it also has the effect that if it attacks, it can inflict double the battle damage. And a lot of the cards in this can actually make some of them attack twice or boost up his attack and stuff. So it's kind of, it's winning through damage, like, is the way the kind of deck runs, as well as the pendulum aspect kind of spams. So then we have All Eyes Phantom Dragon. A lot of people don't run this, but if you run this in the scale with Arc Pendulum, let's say, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon can attack twice. Any dragon pendulum monster can attack twice, so that's really, really good, especially with all these cards' effects of dealing double battle damage, and Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon has the effect to like inflict damage as well. So it's really, really good having that extra attack. It also has the effect, a very long effect. It can't be done with special from your hand or face up extra deck by tributing all monsters you control, minimum 2, including a dragon pendulum monster. You can only special summon Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon once per turn this way, and then once per turn during their damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, double this card's current attack until the end of the turn. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card effect, quick effect, you can send one spell or trap from the grave and negate activation. So it has a negate effect. It also can make 6,000 just in case your opponent does have something big and beastly to get over, and it's a 0 scale, so I like it. If you do want to get rid of this, you can always just run 2 Odd Eyes Phantasm Dragon, which is what a lot of people do, but I just wanted to swap it up and have a few cards on the for the deck profile. So this one, in the Pendulum Zone, you can discard a card and add a face-up dragon pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, so then that gets it into the Pendulum Zone. And then if you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone and a face-up Odd Eyes Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. You cannot pendulum summon for the turn you activate this effect. During damage calculation, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, you can make your opponent's monster lose 1,000 attack for each pendulum monster in your extra deck. So that's a pretty big, like, boosty effect as well. So let's say this is on the field and you activate this. This makes him being able to attack twice with his pendulum effect, you know? So it's really, really good. Little synergy and stuff. The way the deck runs is going to be just attacking with crazy high attack. So yeah. The next card we run is 2 Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. So his effect on the field is he can negate an extra deck monster effect, but he also has the pendulum effect. When I activate effect, target exactly 1 Odd Eyes pendulum monster you control and no other card. So you don't really mind the extra the scale effect. I think it's just changing attack or whatever and special summon himself. But when he's on the field, it is a nice little handy to negate an opponent's monster's effect on the field. So then we have Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon. So his effect is, if he inflicts battle damage, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the number of Odd Eyes cards in your Pendulum Zone times 1,200. So you can inflict 2,400 damage as well as whatever he does, and then you can attack again, let's say, and I don't know if it does say once per turn. Yeah, it says once. Okay, but still, I mean, you can attack twice and inflict 2,400 damage. I mean, it's pretty good. Or 1,200 if you're only running the one thingy, if you're putting All Eyes, because All Eyes not Odd Eyes, obviously. The next card we're running is 3 Chronograph Sorcerer. This one is just it's a level 8, or it's a scale 8, level 6, so you can do it for some synchro plays. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, take one Time Gazer Magician from your hand or deck and either place on the Pendulum Zone or special summon it. And then if this card you control is destroyed by battle, if a card you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon them. So then we have Time Gazer just to go with him for the search. Then we have the one Performapal Odd Eyes Dissolver. So he's your fusion monster. So we run 3 of the all different types to help us out. So I'll just bring them out here real quick. So this one is your fusion, synchro, and then Xyz. So Odd Eyes Dissolver, while he's in the Pendulum Zone, he can fusion summon one dragon fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion. So he's additionally a polymerization constantly in your scale. And then at the start of damage step, if a Pendulum monster battles an opponent's monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. You can only use effect form Odd Eyes Dissolver once per turn. And then during your main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using this card control and something else. Then we have Odd Eyes Synchron. So in the scale, he can make another monster level 1, just in case you do want to go for something like Crystal Wing. And then if this card is special summoned from the extra deck, it is used as a synchro material, banish it banish it. So when this card is normal summoned, you can take a level 3 or lower Performapal Odd Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So you don't want to use that effect. But it is a level 2 tuner, so you can use it with Chronograph Sorcerer to go into level 8 synchros, which is really nice. And then we have Zhangxi Magician, which he can once per turn he can target a face of Xyz monster and make it a level, basically. And then once per turn, his effect on the field is once per turn during either player's turn, you can target a light monster and negate its effects. So pretty nice. Then we have 3 Supreme King Darkworm. So he has the effect that if he's in the graveyard, and no other monster on the field, he can special summon himself in your hand, and then he can search out this bad boy, which is another 0 scale, which is really nice. So you can use cards like, I don't run it, but you can use cards like Dragon Shrine, Foolish Berry and stuff to get this into graveyard, so you have a free level 1 kind of monster for nothing really, and then a scale if you're 0, so he's nice to have as well. And then we run all our search cards. So Duelist Alliance searches anything with a pendulum monster. So the name Pendulum. So you can search out Odd Eyes, you can search out Arc Pendulum, and it's just nice to have that, so you can just keep searching to kind of filter out the deck. Maybe a Spiral Flame Strike, so you can search out a level 7 Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from the extra deck. Or you can add a level 7 Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand. So that's what that does. So you can basically search out your Arc Pendulum, Odd Eyes Pendulum, Phantom Dragon, whatever you want. Then we have 3 Sky Iris. So basically what that does is destroy one of your face-up cards on the field, and then you get to search out an Odd Eyes card. But like, it works well with Arc Dragon, because when you destroy your own card, Arc Dragon gets special summon and you get a search. So that's nice as well. And then to get rid of pesky hand traps, we run 3 Call by the Grave just to negate that. Then we run 2 Ignite Reload. So basically what this card does is, if you have a Pendulum monster in your hand, you can shuffle it back in your deck and draw that number of cards +1. So you don't minus anything, you're just shuffling through your deck to get the cards you want. Then we have Odd Eyes Fusion for cards like Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. And then we're running a kind of newish card as well. Came out in the Legendary Duelist pack, the recent one. So this one is send up to 3 cards from your hand to the graveyard, draw that many cards, and you can special summon up to that many monsters from your hand with different names to your Performapal monster, Magician, or Odd Eyes monsters. Each with a level between the pendulum scales in your zone or whatever. So if you do not special summon, then you only take 1000 damage. So you can, same thing, you can like sieve through your deck, and if you do have the pendulum scales, you can actually special summon them for free, so it's like an extra pendulum summon that turn, which is really nice. So that's a 40 card extra or 40 card main deck, and it's a 15 card extra deck. So let's go into the extra deck then. So we're running the 1 Dark and Thinly on Dragon, which the artwork looks really, really cool. So this one is in the Pendulum scale. Once per turn, you can target a face of monster your opponent controls half its original attack at the end of its turn. So like that, like when you half an attack and then Odd Eyes is attacking, just say twice, and he's inflicting double battle damage, like you can get crazy amount of damage with that. So he requires 2 level 7 monsters, and if you could Pendulum summon a level 7, you can Pendulum summon this card, face him in the extra deck. So with the new rule in place, the new master rule, you can just special summon him anywhere instead of the extra monster zone. But then when he's destroyed and you special him from the pendulum zone or from the extra face-up extra deck, then he will have to go to a zone that a link monster points to, let's say. So his effect is so you can attach one material from this card, target a face of monster your opponent controls, and at the end of this turn its attack becomes half its current attack. And if it does, this card gains the attack that was lost. If this card's monster zone is destroyed by a battle or card effect and placed in the pendulum zone. So all of them have a similar effect. Then we have our little OTK kind of hero. So his effect is if an Xyz monster is used to summon him, let's say with Zhangxi Magician, so you have an Odd Eyes and let's say a Dark Anthelion Dragon, let's say, just for sake, he can actually drop the monster's attack down, and then you can activate his effect, which destroys any monster with level 7 or lower, and then inflict that amount of damage to your opponent, and then he can attack 3 times, which is pretty crazy. So that's his effect, and then obviously when he's destroyed he goes in the pendulum zone, and then the only thing good about him is he destroys all the pendulum zones that are in there. He special summons, and then he can search out any pendulum monster from your deck and put into the zone. Then we have one Odd Eyes Vortex, or Absolute Dragon, sorry. He can negate an attack and then special summon an Odd Eyes monster from the graveyard. So let's say you use Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, remove him as a material, and then you can special summon him back to the main monster zone. And let's say then you can use Zhangxi Magician to make him a level, and then go into something like Odd Eyes Rebellion. Then we have Big Eye, just to take one of your opponent's monsters. And then Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, just in case we want to kind of make your opponent give us life points for everything they're going to activate. So that's it for the Xyz. Next we'll go into the Synchros. So we have Clearwing Fast Dragon. So this is one tuner and one non-tuner monster. So during either player's turn you can target one face of monster your opponent controls. That was special summon from the extra deck. Until the end of this turn, change attack to 0. Also that face of monster has its effects negated. So this one isn't really viable in this deck, not really, but what you can do is you could switch this out for the FA Dawn Dragster if you want. It was just kind of in here for the manga purposes, which I'll show you after. Then we have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which negates. Like that, you can use it with Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, and then go for what's it called, this tuner monster, make a level 1, and then go for Crystal Wing. Then we have Borreload Savage Dragon. Because we are running a few links, we can go for this card as well, especially with the level 8. And then Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, you can go for the level 6 and level 7 to make him, the level 6 and level 2, sorry, to make him, the level 2 tuner, the Odd Eyes tuner, Synchron or whatever it's called, and then the Chronograph Sorcerer summons him, and then he can special summon something from the Pendulum Zone, which is nice. That's his effect. That's it for the Synchros. Then we have so if you want, you can swap these two. I put these in just for kind of extra places I didn't have, but you can finish with Link monsters. Normally what you do is probably run Metal Foes Zephytron, is that his name? And we used to run the full Metal Foes, what was his name? I can't think of names, I'm gone blank today. But that's what you normally run, so I just have him instead. But he can be summoned with like Odd Eyes Meteor Burst, Absolute, and a fusion monster, let's say Odd Eyes Vortex, and Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. You get rid of all them and you can summon Supreme King Zark, and it is possible Chronograph Sorcerer to summon him that way. Then we have the new manga card, which is 3 dark pendulum monsters. All of them are dark, as you can see there, so it's not too hard to go into them. So his effect in the Pendulum Zone is once per turn during your main phase, you can place one Venom counter on this face of monsters your opponent controls. All monsters on the field except Dark Dragon monsters lose 200 attack for each Venom counter on the field. And then it requires 3 dark pendulum monsters. Each time a card is sent from the field to the graveyard, place a Venom counter on this card. For each card sent, all monsters on the field except dark monsters lose 200 attack for each Venom counter on the field, and once per turn during your main phase you can negate the effects of all face of monsters with Venom counters, and if he's destroyed he gets to go to the Pendulum Zone. So there's another one. Odd Eyes Vortex, just to bounce stuff and negate stuff. Odd Eyes Performer Gatling Gun, because it's actually a really good card. It can go used with the Performer Pal Odd Eyes Dissolver. And then for our 2 link monsters, we're running 1 Unicorn and Burl Sword, like that, because you're going to go into crazy attacks and stuff, and Unicorn just to stop some extra stuff. So yeah, so we finally got these cards. I know they're not the best, and this deck probably isn't super meta or anything like that, anywhere near it, but these are the manga cards that were used, that we never got to actually see. So yeah, so we were after getting all of them. these are the cards to use in the manga. So this is Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Dark Rebellion Dragon, Clearwing, and then Starving Venom. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you like the video, and good luck.